Hello, is anyone there? This is Grimm Grinner, on all channels.
Infected attacks rampant in the GAT. The government failed, unified into the corporation.
Have a safe day.
Desolation, an endless wasteland.
Nothing but static.
Searching for a shred of hope.
Welcome to the Wastes.
Hey there, Gat and the Wastes. This is Grimm Grinner on Pirate Radio, transmitting on as many channels as I can manage. How are we all doing out there? I've been better, having to lock myself down inside the basement of a building here in the Gat. Not going to give away my location exactly, but luckily there haven't been as many creep squads in the area recently, which has been great for me keeping my cover. Which, yes, I am still managing to keep myself from getting spotted. The hair change and losing all my gear and a secure stash out in the dust has certainly helped with going under the radar. Kinda makes me laugh if I'm being totally honest. Almost reminds me of those old comic books where people wouldn't recognize a superhero with just a slight appearance change. You'd think the corpos would be better at recognizing their most wanted, right? In any case, I've been holed up for a little bit, which is delaying any sort of chance I have of getting closer to the archives deep in the Tor district. Birdie said they were working on some stuff to help me out there, but they've been in a different patrol cycle for about 2 weeks now, leaving me to fend for myself and try to avoid detection. Spare time's given me some chances to do a little on-the-ground investigation and recon, since obviously if I'm not being found out by the creeps, I'm passing through as a regular survivor all the same. And that has afforded me a bit of time to learn about the things going on here in the Gat, which is turning this into a much bigger sort of issue than I thought when I came in here. First thing on my list is the mysterious broadcast. From what I can tell, it originates from somewhere in the Shiimapan district, which isn't as much of a surprise as I thought it would be. With what I've been able to put together, that area is bordering on being part of the Waste itself, with how the corporations and the elite treat everyone there. They're all still part of the system and have coffee mandated for them, but the strength is a little less, because the promise of a better tomorrow is hung over their heads like a grand prize they'll have to fight for. And even in the first few years after the fall, that was still seen as pretty true. People would work hard and help build up this infrastructure, toiling away for scraps, and would be rewarded with chances to enlist in different districts, or even move up in status to be one of the elites. Not one of the elite agents, mind you, although that was on the table. I mean, like elite families and members of the corporations. Apparently, these elites are the pinnacle of what the corporations wanted to see from the get-go, like even before the fall. Status symbols capable of keeping the rest of their ideal society in control, because why not? With the bombs dropping, though, they had to find new ways of creating those symbolic figureheads, and they used the danger and fear-mongering of the world outside the walls to help keep that control until they were ready. Now there's glowing signs throughout every district with the same empty promises being displayed, but demanding 100 times more work to get there, meaning there's no real chance. It hasn't stopped people from being picked up from the districts on a regular basis, though. Except there's less fanfare around it, since people aren't told the why. It's assumed they're either being hauled in for reconditioning, or maybe conscripted into the creep force, or worse, being experimented on and being dumped right back into the wastes. Based on what I've encountered with Farah and some of the logs I've found in some old corporate bunkers, I'm almost certain that the corporations have some sort of hand in the ferals, which means they know something about the wraiths, too. Which is why I need to find those files. But while I wait on being able to get in contact with Birdie and getting closer to the corporate archives, I'm going to be looking into these disappearances some more, or at least see if I can find out more on that mysterious broadcast, like where it's actually coming from and what the person sending it out knows. I've also been learning about how the Shiimapan rats were able to get in and out to wreak havoc on the waste for their time outside the walls. Turns out there's a sort of sewage or waste tunnel that goes outside to...
Good evening, citizens of the Gat. It is now time for your evening cup of coffee. Remember what Cup of Joe says. An evening pick-me-up prevents morning hiccups. Have a safe day.
Well, that was new. Set up this broadcast today specifically to avoid the evening cuppa announcement. Wonder if certain Agent Zeta is catching on and doesn't like what they're hearing. If that is the case, I'll have to cut transmission short soon, since they might be trying to trace rogue signals. Damn. I was really just starting to like this place. It's got no leaking ceilings, and even has a small bit of extra power to store some rations in a cooler. Oh well. Cozy comforts can't always be kept, especially when you're a fugitive. As long as there's power to charge this makeshift relay, I'm sure I'll be fine wherever I end up hunkering down next. Good luck out there for now, my wastes. I'm going to make the smart move and cut the transmission now, but should be able to shout out over the static again soon enough. This has been Grimm Grinner on all channels as Pirate Radio. See you in the wastes. Welcome to The Wastes is a Voice in the Static production, written, starring, and produced by Edward Grimm Grinner Hutchinson. You can find Welcome to The Wastes on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and other social media sites, and there's a merch store through Etsy. Links are in the episode description. Welcome to The Wastes is also made possible with the love and support of listeners and wastelanders like you. If you want to help support the show on Patreon, that link will also be in the description, alongside the list of monthly supporters. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the wastes.